Hello there, Bick Benedict here. We're playing God of War 2, and this is my Challenge of the Titans walkthrough. We're now on the fourth challenge of 7. It is entitled Protect the Weak. So we have to protect the translator once again. It's not the nightmare that it is on the main campaign on Titan difficulty. It's still kind of challenging though. One of the main things I want to stress though is that you have to move the translator every time the circle that he is in moves to a different location on this particular map. Now, it only moves about 4 times, but you really have no hope of moving the translator if you're not slowing down time. And indeed, if you're not slowing down time, I don't know how this would possibly ever work out. Now, the objective is to, I should say the bonus objective, is to keep him alive to keep him alive over 50% of his health. It's not that difficult at all. In fact, if you're slowing down time, it's pretty damn manageable. It's just that you really need to pick your weapons and magic carefully here. I'm gonna primarily, I think exclusively use the Blade of Olympus here. Yeah, and then I'm gonna be switching back between the Atlas Quake and the Kronos' Rage. The Quake I'm mainly going to use when I need to damage enemies in a particular radius that's close to me, or if I need to stagger the Cyclopses, because the main threat is probably the Cyclopses and the Satyrs. Everything's pretty much a threat, but on the Sirens here, I'm going to say this about the QuickTime event. Never press the circle button for the QuickTime event on these guys, which is, there's 2 of them. Once is when they're halfway dead, and then the final QuickTime event is when they're on the cusp of death. Never interact with the cutscene, what am I fucking talking about? The circle button. Just don't press the circle button unless you've slowed down time to a certain percentage. If you have about 50% of the time slowing down left, then feel free to grab them. But it just takes so long for the QuickTime event that if you're not doing it when you're slowing down time, things could be going out of control, out of the view of the camera pretty much, and all hell can be breaking loose by the translator. So you do want to kill them with the circle button, because they're pain in the asses to kill with just ignoring the circle button. So that's probably one of the things that kills a lot of players, trying to just kill them outright when they have the circle button over them. But it just doesn't work out, because for some reason they're just way too durable. And of course, you never want to do the QuickTime events on the Cyclopses at all. So the thing I'll also mention that is, you see the yellow bar that's dwindling now? You always want to be using this. So if you think you're using it too much for some reason, and I fall into that trap, like I think I'm overusing it. It's just, nothing is furthest from the truth. It doesn't matter if you're using it or not using it. Just keep using it, because this is really only doable if you're using this. So what I do is I constantly use the armlet here to slow down time. And what I do is, when it starts to dwindle, I do nothing but just stand and wait for it to regenerate. And if things are going awry, obviously I'm going to drop magic and things like that, but I'm not sure why I paused it. I must have had something that I was doing, but anyway, you've got a couple of these, a trio of these fucking satyrs coming up, so make sure that when they come up, you've slowed down time and you can stagger them with the Kronos' Rage. And it looks like we've also got a siren coming down. The circle on the ground closing the translator, it moves to the certain positions, not at random, but every time it's going to move to the same places. So it starts out in 12 o'clock, and then it goes to 9 o'clock, roughly, and then it's going to go to, I think, like 5 o'clock right over here. So make sure you put him down here. You don't have to see. He was a little bit out of the circle here, but it wouldn't have mattered. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't taking any sort of damage. If he's out of the circle, he's going to take a little bit of damage, and you don't really see the translator getting dealt extreme damage like on Titan difficulty. I think all of the trials are on normal difficulty. So it's quite fair. Yes, it does take a little bit of a fast acting here and multitasking. It's a little spam heavy actually with the sword, because all I'm basically doing is I'm doing the L1 plus triangle and triangle attacks and just mashing square quite a bit. It doesn't involve a huge amount of skill to keep this guy alive. Anyway, see what happened there? You could probably guess what happened. I was trying to slow down time and it grabbed the translator on accident. So anytime you sense that the circle's getting pretty stale, make sure that you continually go back to the circle and make sure that it's not fading. And again, I can't stress the fact that just don't move him if you're not slowing down time. It works pretty damn well too. Okay, so I'm going to let this thing regenerate. Okay, so see what I prioritized moving this guy. It would have been a mistake to try to finish her off when the circle's moving, and we're right on top of it. So we're going to drop him right in the circle, let the time regenerate, and it's actually kind of fun. I enjoy this. This only took about 20 minutes. It's really doable. And then of course, if you don't want to get interrupted or like pushed over or staggered, if you have the Rage of the Titans activated, then these guys can't do anything to you to stagger you. Of course, you can get dealt damage, but you getting damaged is not a problem when it's on normal difficulty because it just doesn't matter that much. You're basically only getting dealt chip damage on normal difficulty. There's no way to increase the difficulty or anything like that. And we're not doing too bad because the translator is only taking about 10% of his damage off. So we've got a little bit of leeway there. And I am just going to just kind of distribute my Rage of the Titans here. I've got no more magic. I've got a little bit of rage left. And I'm going to use the time slowing down mechanism. Yeah, I could have held my ground right there. He wouldn't have staggered me because I had Rage of the Titans activated. And now we've got a little precarious situation because this guy is going to fucking stagger me. And that's all wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much for staggering me about 10 times. And this should be the last position we have to move this guy. I got knocked down bad right there. And then, of course, I'm just doing L1 plus triangle, guys. That's all I'm doing here. And I think after these guys, this should be the whole trial. So after like 10-15 minutes of learning this trial, it's going to go down and probably in your favor. It's not that bad. It's really manageable with the statue here to control the time. And this guy should be the last guy. And I'm just picking this weapon, guys, because I'm comfortable with it. It's really strong. And there's the bonus. There, we've done it. Take care, guys.